Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Electromagnetic field theory, and we have started the magnetostatics portion of our subject. And in previous session, we have discussed the Bauer-Savart law, and now we have to move on to magnetic flux density and magnetic field intensity in terms of the surface current density. Okay, so in the previous we have discussed the magnetic flux density B and magnetic field intensity H in terms of the line current density, that is dl. Now we have to consider a conductor in the form of a thin sheet having negligible thickness. Okay, this is a thin sheet having a negligible thickness, so that it may not assumed to be a volume, only a surface sheet. Okay, so B is the base for this sheet and GL is the length. Okay, and this is also a current carrying sheet, so the direction of the current will be like this. This arrow indicates the direction of the currents along the sheet. Okay, so we have also considered that the current is uniformly distributed in the sheet. Okay, now so the current density is defined as K. Okay, now this K is not a proportionate constant for the Bauer-Savart law, but it will be a little bit confusion between this K and that K, but you have to be careful about this K. Okay, this is actually the current density, the surface current density K, which is also represented by the letter K. Okay, so K is equal to I over B, okay, ampere per meter. So I is equal to K B. From the cross multiplication, we can represent K as a vector quantity. The direction of the K will be in the direction of the I. So I, okay, dl or dl absolute is equal to K B. Okay, this is actually to represent the K in the direction, and GL will represent the unit vector. This will be a unit vector for the direction of the K. Okay, so I GL, this GL is multiplied on both sides, so that this BGL can be replaced with the DS. Okay, the, the sheet we are gradually moving to the surface this current density. Okay, so for the surface current density we must have ds surface for the K. So now in the next step, bgl will be replaced by the ds. D actually represent the small portion of the sheet. Okay, so now using this expression, I dl is equal to k ds. Okay, because b dl is replaced from by the ds. Okay, because b and d, this is b and this is dl, this makes a surface. Okay, so for the small portion we can write as a ds. Now substituting this value in equation number 6 and 7, we will get B, magnetic flux density for the complete surface. So that is why we have applied the integration for to get the complete magnetic flux density for the whole surface. So mu naught over 4 pi integration K cross AR over R square ds. Okay, and similarly dividing this whole expression by the mu naughts, we will get 1 over 4 pi integration K cross, this is actually the cross multiplication. Okay, cross multiplication of these two vectors, so K cross AR over R square ds. This is the expression for the magnetic field intensity, and that was in term of k. K is the surface, the the surface current density. And now we are moving to the volume current density. Okay, we have started with the line current density, then we have switched to the surface current density, and now we are switching to the volume current density, and that is represented by the J. Okay, so this is a rectangular conductor, and the dimensions are also given. Okay, this is a cross-sectional area ds, and the length of the rectangular conductor is dl. Okay, so consider a rectangular conductor. Let the current be uniformly distributed in this conductor. Okay, now the volume current density is defined as the current flowing through a sheet, a surface. Okay, so I over ds, and that will be in ampere per meter square. So I will is equal to j, by from the cross multiplication we get I is equal to j ds, and we can represent j as a vector quantity. The direction of the j will be in the direction of the I, so the same technique will be applied. We have to use dl over dl absolute, which will then be multiplied on the both sides to get I dl vector is equal to j ds dl. And now this dsgl is actually the volume. Okay, as we can see from the figure, ds cross dl, which is equal to the volume. Okay, so therefore I dl is equal to j dv. Okay, putting the equation 6 and 7, putting these values in the equation 6 and 7, we will get the magnetic flux density b is equal to mu naught over 4 pi, and this is for the complete volume integration j cross ar over r square dv, and h is equal to 1 over 4 pi. This is magnetic field intensity gr cross ar over r square dv. Okay, if you want to replace this ar, so you can write it as r over r absolute. So from this the expression will then be converted to b is equal to epsilon mu naught over 4 pi integration j cross r, okay, divided by the r and r square r cube dv. And these are actually the limits of the integration for each dimension of the v. Okay, so three integrations for each length, width, and height. Now the magnetic field intensity due to infinite length of charges. Okay, so this is an we can this is a current carrying conductor having a length of minus infinity to plus infinity, and the current is moving in the direction of z. So first of all we will consider a small segment for this current carrying conductor. Okay, so let's read out the theory of this topic. Consider a consider a straight conductor, current carrying conductor, extending from minus infinity to plus infinity along the z-axis. Okay, so consider a point of observation P. This is the point of observation P, such that its position vector is r2. Okay, from the origin. This is the origin. According to head-to-tail rule, r2 is equal to rho. This is the rho vector, rho a rho plus z a z. Now they are actually considering the cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, So this is the z az. Okay, this is row arrow, so row arrow plus z az is equal to r2 from the head to tail load. So now consider a very small segment. This is the very small segment, okay, of the conductor, and also consider that this differential segment is located at a point z dash from the origin. Okay, this is z dash from the origin. Okay, so don't confuse z with z dash. Okay, z is the height of the point of observation, and z dash is the height for the filament, the small segment of the current carrying conductor. Okay, so the position vector of the small segment of the conductor is z az. Okay, so r1 will be equal to z dash az. R1 will be equal to z dash az. Now the distance vector r is given by capital R is equal to R2 minus R1. So putting the values of R2 and R1 from the previous equations, so we will get R2 was equal to a row arrow plus Z az from the head to tail rule. Okay, and R1 is Z. This is the uh, Z dash az. Okay, the height of the small segment of the current carrying conductor. So taking az as common, so z we will get z minus z dash az plus row arrow. Okay, and the magnitude will be a row square plus z minus z dash whole square root. Okay, so let ar is the unit vector. So ar is equal to r over r absolute. Okay, so this will be ar vector. Okay, from here, and the magnitude will be from here. So now the differential flux density caused by the small segment of the conductor at the point of observation is dh is equal to I dl cross r over 4 pi r cube, uh, which we have already discussed previously. So um, just putting the values according to the given situation. So dl is equal to dz dash az. Okay, so replacing dl with this, so I az dash az, and r by this whole. Okay, so row arrow plus z minus z dash into z dash, this is row square plus. Okay, so this is actually the square root and the cube. Okay, so that is why the power of this will be 3 by 2. This 3 is because of this cube, and 1 over 2 is because of this square root. Okay, so in order to calculate the total magnetic flux intensity, magnetic field intensity, we have to apply the limits from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, so now if we put minus infinity to plus infinity and apply the integration, and after putting these values, so the solution will move to the undefined situation. So there is need to convert this cylindrical coordinate system in spherical coordinate system, means in term of the trigonometric function, so that these limits becomes finite. So for that purpose we have to assume substitute z minus z dash is equal to rho cotangent theta, and similar substitutions has already been done in the previous lecture as well. So that is not much difficult. Okay, so z minus z dash is replaced by rho cotangent theta, and apply the the derivative with respect to d theta, so you will get this. Okay, um, and this d theta will be multiplying on either side, so that it may be uh, it may be moved to this side. so that whenever we have the minus z dash okay, dz dash, so this can be replaced by this whole expression, this expression. Okay, now dz dash is equal to this, because this minus will be cancelled out with this minus. Now the limits, okay, because the limits over here are minus infinity and plus infinity, so these are the limits for the dz dash. But now for the theta, we have to find new limits. So cotangent theta is equal to, from this expression, okay, z minus z dash is equal to rho cotangent theta. So cotangent theta is equal to z minus z dash divided by the rho. Okay, taking the reciprocal, tangent theta is equal to rho over z minus z dash. Putting the limits, z dash is equal to minus infinity, this is the lower limit. Okay, so by putting minus infinity over here, minus into minus plus, so z plus infinity, so this will be infinity, anything divided by infinity will be 0, so tangent inverse 0 will be equal to 0. Okay, now for the upper limit, okay, now this is the upper limit, z dash is equal to infinity, so theta is equal to tangent inverse rho over z minus infinity. And now we have the minus infinity, the angle becomes minus. So according to the trigonometric equations, if we have the uh, minus angle for the tangent theta, so it can be replaced as minus. If we have minus, so pi minus tangent inverse plus theta. Okay, so using this technique, we have to replace this by pi minus tangent inverse, okay, plus angle plus theta. Okay, so this is again 0, tangent inverse 0 is 0, and we will left with theta is equal to pi for the upper limit. So now the lower limits are 0 and the upper limit is pi. So now there is, now we have just to replace these substitutions in this equation number 1. The z minus z dash will be substituted with rho cotangent theta. The dz dash will be substituted with rho cosecant square theta d theta, and the limits of minus infinity will be replaced with the 0, and that of the plus infinity will be replaced with pi. So here we go. Okay, so the az cross az, this is the cross multiplication of the two similar unit vectors, so this will be equal to 0. Okay, so and replace the rest of the, this is a z cross az, which will be equal to 0, so there is no need to replace z minus z dash, because after multiplying this with 0, we will get 0 term for this. So keep concentrating on the rest of the variables. So in the denominator, we will get rho square plus rho square cotangent square theta. Okay, so taking common, we will get rho cube, okay, 1 plus cotangent square theta, which is equal to cosecant cube theta, after applying this 3 by 2. Okay, square will be cancelled with square, so we will left with cube only. Okay, from here we will get cosecant cube theta power 3 by 2, so 2 will be cancelled out with these 2, so we will left with cosecant cube theta. So rho cosecant square theta. Okay, now this square will be cancelled out with this cube, and so we will left with 1 over cosecant theta, and 1 over cosecant theta is equal to sine theta. So rho sine theta a phi. Okay, so the whole expression become squeezed up. Now there is as a stage to apply integration. So the integration of sine theta will be minus cos theta, putting the limits, upper limit pi, lower limit 0. Okay, so cos pi is equal to minus 1, cos 0 is 1. So minus 1 minus 1 minus 2, this minus will be multiplied with this minus, we will get plus 2. Okay, now 2 will be cancelled out with this, 4 to get 2. Okay, and this row will be cancelled out with this square, so we are left with I divided by 2 pi rho. This is the magnetic field intensity for the current carrying conductor extending from minus infinity to plus infinity, and that all efforts were and have been done just because of keeping the solution out of the undefined situation. Okay, so that is why we have converted the cylindrical coordinate system and the spherical coordinate system to get the trigonometric function, and the whole answer will be in terms of spherical coordinate system. So now the direction of the h will be in the direction of a phi. Okay, because a z cross a rho is equal to a phi. Okay, a z, this is also a unit vector, a rho is also a unit vector, so we will get a phi for this expression. Okay, so that was about the today's lecture. So if you have any problem, you can ask in the group. Thank you.